Hey, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be covering the top 5 rulings that players need to know while playing the Palworld TCG. Let's get right into it. Rule number 1. Card effects assume that the card is in play. Let's take a look at Pangolin that reads, when this card is sent to the graveyard, draw a card. Well, if you discard it from your hand for the cost of interrupt, or take damage and it gets revealed during the damage check, is it technically being sent to the graveyard? According to 10.3.5 in the detailed rulebook, effects printed on pals, structures, and gears that do not specify a zone are only active if that card is in the base. Some abilities, like Interrupt, may specify a zone other than a base, like Hand. Those effects are only active while they are in the designated zone and not while the card is at a base. Ruling number 2. On-attack effects resolve before a quick timing. Player A has Spellbat in their base and declares a direct attack against Player B. Player B has a Raindrix in hand with the Interrupt ability that reads, nullify the opponent's attack. If you nullify the attack, does it technically even happen? Does Spellbat let you gain 1 life? According to the rulebook, section 9.3.2, effects that trigger when a card declares an attack will resolve during this step. However, the timing for player B to use quick effects does not occur until 9.5, which is also after when player B would declare a blocker if they had one. So, player A declares an attack with Fellbat. Fellbat's ability triggers and resolves, so player A gains 1 life before player B even has the chance to use Raindrix's Interrupt effect. Ruling number 3. Work suitability is not required for structures. If you've played the Palworld video game, you may expect structures to require pals to have specific work suitability in order to assign them to that structure. And that is a logical assumption, given we see both pals and structure cards with traits printed on them, such as kindling, farming, or collecting. Section 5.17.2 states, when instructed to assign a pal without specifying a particular pal, select a pal in stand state that you own that meets the specified conditions and assign it. What does that mean? This means as long as a structure does not have a cost or effect like assign a harvesting pal, or assign a dragon pal, then you would be able to assign any pal that you have in play as long as it is in the stand state. Right now, this restriction is only found on cards like Mao Christ, whose ability says when this card is assigned to a farming structure. This effect will only trigger if it is assigned to structures like ranch or breeding farm, and so Mao Christ's effect will not trigger if assigned to something like mounted machine gun, which only lists crafting. Ruling number 4. On deploy triggers regardless of where the card is played from. I've heard some confusion from players who feel on deploy only refers to when a card is played from hand. However, section 5.15.1 of the detailed rulebook states, to deploy is to play from anywhere that is not a base to any base. Let's say you play Chill It from your hand and use its on deploy ability. Then reveal another Chill It as the top card of your deck. You may deploy that second Chill It and use its on deploy ability even though you played it from the deck, not your hand. The same logic applies to pals that enter play through effects like Hanging Trap or Medical Supplies, which deploy from the Exile Zone or the Graveyard. As long as a card is deployed from any zone and successfully enters a base, the on-deploy effects will trigger. Finally, rule number 5. Do as much as you can. This last ruling is actually under the Golden Rules section of the rulebook. 1.3.2 states, if something cannot be done, nothing happens. If something can only be partially done, do as much as you can. For this first half, let's take a look at Lope Moon's on deploy ability, which reads, if it is night, choose up to one cost 6 or less PAL in the stand state and put it into the graveyard. If all of your opponent's PALs are in the rest state, you cannot target them for this ability, and no card is sent to the graveyard. If they have a PAL in the stand state, but it is 7 cost or greater, nothing will happen. As a bonus ruling, Lope Moon could technically target itself since it is a 4 cost PAL in the stand state. And luckily, its effect reads, choose up to 1 PAL, which means you are allowed to choose 0. But what about Relaxaurus? This reads, on deploy, choose up to 1 cost 6 or less PAL and rest it. While this card is in the base, that card does not stand. There is no in the stand state qualifier in this first sentence, so you are allowed to choose a 6 cost PAL that is already rested for this ability. Nothing happens to the chosen card immediately, but you do as much as you can in this case, and the chosen card will not stand as long as Relaxaurus is in play. Now, this does not include costs. This is abilities that are resolving. So anything in brackets before an ability text that is a cost, such as Lyleen's consume 3 ingredients, must be performed in full, or the ability cannot be used. That about does it for today's video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to dive deeper into any other game rules or specific card interactions. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more Palworld TCG content, and I'll catch you in the next one.